Welcome back to Tech. I am continuing to work on the Darklighter. For anyone that's not familiar with that from my last video, the Darklighter is intended to be a planetary carrier. So it's a large ship that's intended to bring small ships down to a planet's surface and then be able to leave with all those ships and cargo. I'm not too sure how that's going to work in the end, but I will give it a try. If that project fails, I can always make this into a pure space vessel. Not a big deal. So from there, I had built my entire hangar system last video with all the hookups needed to attach different kinds of ships and vessels to. And I was just getting to work on the neck of the ship. And right here is right where I'm going to show you the sketch I made of how I'm intending for the ship to look, but that does not mean that that's going to be the final outcome. Okay, so now that you all know how it's going to be worked on, I'm going to pull up my own sketchbook so I can see the image myself. It's always good to have a little blueprint sitting around. And I don't mean in-game blueprint, I mean real life. So, the next part of my ship is going to be forming the neck. I'm going to worry about skinning the top and stuff later in the final shape. So for now, I'm going to be working on the neck, which means I've got to shrink this area up. I'm just trying to think of how I want to do that. How sharp do I want it to shrink? And I have empty space here, so I'm thinking I'm going to put some batteries in there. Once I find them on my option menu. Batteries. They shouldn't be that far back. I may just be blind. I wear glasses for a reason, you know. Though many of you probably did not know I wore glasses. Oh, batteries. Are you? There you are. So I'm going to fill this entire space in with batteries. So that this ship does not require large reactors, though. We'll still have some in here. So if I need large reactors as an emergency, say the batteries have run out, I will have enough large reactors still planned to be able to take this ship and run everything. So there's that. I'm not going to worry too much about armoring things up, but I will put a skin over it anyways, because I don't like exposed components. And up the other side, and because I have this in mirror mode, it has that already on the other side, so I don't have to worry about that. And that's what I was afraid was going to happen with that last row. So I'm going to actually delete this row for aesthetics reasons, because I can't stand that line that shows up. That's personal preference. So I'm just putting in some armor blocks there to get rid of that line. If you noticed beforehand, there was a little white line here, like the edge, and I just don't like that. So there's my neck starting to come in. I think I will need to come in another 2 blocks. So with that in mind, I will set up the base for it. So I probably should get rid of this to save some weight, because I do need to shed as much weight off of this project as I can, or it's going to have a hard time doing what it's supposed to do. And 1 block may not seem like much weight, but it adds up very quickly when you're not paying attention. Oh, I have a floating block. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't hinder anything. I'm going to get rid of these extra large reactors. I no longer need those just to keep the ship stationary. I had a problem last video where I put a small ship in the hangar as a test, bumped the ship, and it started drifting, which is why I put thrusters in every direction just to keep the ship from drifting. Okay, I am working on making it to that neck area. I'm actually thinking I might want to make this one more in, but I can't go too much thinner. No, that should actually be pretty good. If I need to, I can always change it later. Place down another row. And voila, that's my hangar's neck. There is a reason I am undoing this little bit of work. Whoops. Because these are, I'm just extending these blocks a random amount. I can always trim them shorter if I need to later. But I already know for a fact that this is, right, actually I'm going to make this 3 high. So I can put conveyors and turrets in here if I wish. Like so. But I already know I'm going to need a lot of atmospheric engines, not hydrogen. I'll hit the right button eventually. And I intend to just have them exposed right here. But I'm actually going to set the engines in later when I'm actually more to that stage. Right now I am up to the central column. And I'm thinking that that may actually be a little too thin. But I can adjust that later. Right now, just get some projective blocks in. This here is going to have a stairwell going up. So we might as well start planning for that. Starting to take some good shapes. I attempt to try not building giant floating bricks. Bricks are very efficient shaped in this game, but they're bricks. They don't look very good usually. So with that all set, I need to determine where I'm going to put the doors to get down here. I'm thinking about having it on the sides, so I don't have to worry about connectors and conveyors showing. I need a nice door here. This needs to be an airlock, so I need to do that. Just like up here needs to be an airlock. But I can't do that yet, as you can hear. There we go. When I am done, this will be an airlock. But for right now, it's just placeholder. I've got the airlock basically made, I just haven't sealed it. Just finishing some shapes here. I can get the right blocks, that usually helps. There we go. And there and there. So that means that I need to switch over to this block. Actually, that's the one I already need. Rotate down and light armor that. There we go. That's my front shape. I'd have to state the only part I'm disappointed in how it looks is this ramp. I may end up adjusting it to try having that ramp go up when in space, so that I don't have this big gaping jaw, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, chin. Because it's going to be flying like that. I mean, that won't affect its space abilities, but I don't like how it looks. Anyways, now I need to work on getting this up here in a sensible fashion. Because that's all part of the neck area. There we go. I've got my airlock all sealed. Do I have conveyors? Yes, I do. Oof. Okay, I've got to decide where I'm busting into that conveyor system. And I'm thinking right here is my best spot. So I'm going to go there. Snip that, put a conveyor junction. I don't need a conveyor junction for the rest. And actually, that's not a bad idea to have a conveyor system running there. Conveyor junction just to seal the other end, so that if I snip in the middle, I don't have floating tubes. That's actually pretty annoying when that happens. And now I have these conveyor systems for putting anything I want in this tube. This tube here is actually going to be mostly my storage and stuff. If you look at my diagram, I mean, it's just a tube. From there, I'm actually planning of having habitation being a bit more on top. So if I'm running really heavy, I can skimp on the habitation area and just make a bridge. Because you really don't need all that habitation space I tend to put in. We already know that this is going to happen. So I might as well make it. I've already got conveyors here that are already conveyed up. So I can just put an air vent there for this lower deck, wherever I may want. Right now I've got to determine the bottom of this neck. Where's lock? Now I need two stairwells. One going up, one going down. They can be the same stairwell. And I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Has to be reserved for the atmospheric thrusters, as many as I can squeeze in there. Visually, is that too narrow compared to the hangar system? I think it probably is. So I'm actually going to widen this whole thing out by another 2 blocks. Or just another 1 block. Just another 1. I changed my mind. So there's that. I need to delete this interior facing. I can do that this way. Helps if I don't move down. I've got a unique keyboard configuration. So when I try to do planes, I tend to go down because my shift is moving down for me. It's just very comfortable for me to do. It's natural feeling. so this must be 3. So I can extend that out to there for the neck. That neck goes all the way up. And goes, as far as I can tell at the moment, all the way down, except for maybe by 1 block, just to give it a different shape. I'm not so worried about this combining with my forked front because that shape's already going to change some more. So it's probably going to go down here to level off with that, and then I'm going to have the habitation area pop up. And actually, I'm getting to the point where I might need to finish the top of that hangar system. I tend to just kind of build with the flow. Okay, so my conveyor systems actually can move. So I jumped the gun there a little bit. That can go. See if that can go without trouble. Okay, nothing broke off. Because I have a new defined space, which I actually think is a little bit better for me. Oh, it's a little easier on the conveyor systems if I can hit the right buttons again. You will find I hit the wrong buttons all the time. I'm sure I'm not alone. So, boom. And conveyor junction there. Just to restore that function of connection. Because I will need that. From there, I'm going to turn off... Actually, I can't do that yet. I'm be jumping the gun. I like doing that too a lot. So sue me. That's my estimated bottom of that tube. I'm going to check my weight again, because I already know that this thing is getting big. Everything always gets bigger than I intend for it to. Okay, I'm at we'll just say 2.4 million mass. That's in kilograms, not that it overly matters. So right now my idea is to take this open corridor, and I'm going to use this to put refineries on one side, large storage on the other side, probably just 1 or 2 large storage containers with an assembler, and then have reactors and stuff back here, as right here is right where my engines should be. If you look at my picture, I should be having engine booms that will move up when I'm in atmosphere to help get me out of, not just to keep me up in the air, but also to help me break out of orbit. Therefore, you won't have to worry about going up, rather than tilting at just the right time, or tilting nose up and going up that way. I'm also planning of not using hydrogen. It is possible to do it with nothing but ion and atmospheric. I've made several crafts that do it that way. Hydrogen is the easy man's version. There's no problem with it. Okay. I may actually not even need my top deck that I was planning. Ow. You heard him. Okay, I actually don't like that right in front of the door. I'd rather give a little breathing space, because this is going to be my stairwell. Turn off mirror turn off mirror mode. One goes down, the other one goes up. So let's get the stairs out. This one's gonna go up, while this one here goes down. Whoop. I'm an expert, I know what I'm doing, really. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, so I need ramp again, which is over by one. The ladder. Let's get the ramp out. Something a little nice to do to make things look good. I will eventually be getting a gravity generator in here. I'm just not up to that stage yet. Here, bring that all the way up. And let's go back to the ramps. I can confidently do this. Or maybe not so confidently, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. How badly do I mess this up? We'll find out soon enough, right? Okay, let's put that away. Let me see what I've got so far. Up. Up. And they really should put a sign there. Oh, wait. Guess that's me. Yeah, it's perfectly fine, just the way it was. Yeah, totally. Okay, this ship's already a lot taller than I wanted it to be. I was thinking of having it only like 2, maybe 3 decks. It looks like it's going to be 4 decks tall. Each staircase leads up to a deck. Except for this one here, which is literally just for the hangar bay. Which I could do this several different ways. And I think the easiest way is often the right way. There we go. Which actually gives me some more room for some gyros. Though putting gyros on the bottom may not be the best idea, because if I crash, it's the gyros that will be going. So there's that simple staircase right now, which has helped to define the bottom of my ship. Just to give a general walkthrough. Lower hangar. Rovers will be coming in through this, up here, connecting, and then these will go down. From there, you can go out through one of these 2 doors, and then right on up. And then we'd be up to the main hangar. Now I've got to leave room here for some kind of sensor work so that these doors can automatically open and close. I've got plenty of room on this side. This side here is likely to be placed right on this top block. And again, I might hide it right here, depending upon what else I do in this area. Said with this ship here, I'm trying to utilize every ounce of empty space I got. So I actually might put my, what else could I put down here? Plenty of things you need in a ship like this. Mirror mode was not turned on, so I kind of have to redo this stuff a little bit. And that would be the very bottom of my ship. I can tell now that I am definitely going to need to put in some kind of piston landing gear system. But the idea with this piston landing gear system is that I will land and the pistons will actually be taller than this ramp, and then I'll drop the pistons in the front to have the ramp touch the ground. And the way the pistons work now, they won't explode. Beforehand, they'd keep trying to crunch and crunch and crunch until nom nom there's nothing left. Probably should be doing this with half blocks to lighten the load, but half blocks are still new to me. Though I love those little blocks. I don't want a ladder. Give me the ramps, thank you. Okay. So with that, I have my lower area set. I'm actually going to finish that area completely for the moment. So I need my blocks out. Boom. And there we go. That's the outermost skin of this lower area. From there, I forgot the mirror mode. Let's turn mirror mode back on, shall we? At least until I'm back to working on that staircase. There we go. Ow. That's my preliminary plan for the moment. Yep, wrong. Knew that before I even clicked the button. Honest, I swear. Actually, I did. But I realized it too late. Thankfully, I can always delete it. So there we go. I might extend that a little bit to put some thrusters down there if I feel that I need more. But for right now, that is it. Kind of almost looks like a Star Trek underbelly area with like the dish, doesn't it? not my intention. Sorry, Star Trek. I'm not stealing your ship designs, honest. Oi, that's why I need gravity. Okay, so with that all set, I have all this space in here. And it looks like it's actually 7 blocks. If I wanted to, I could put another thruster facing backwards, which I think is exactly what I'm going to try doing. I'm going to put some gyros down here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! I busted stuff. It broke, it did. Wasn't me. I didn't do it. I do not know what you're talking about. He did it. I left mirror mode on again, didn't I? Yep. This is the problem with mirror mode. So I am going to put gyros here, because I know this ship's going to need them. No, I cannot get away with that. That was minimal. Well, still, it's one more thruster that I didn't have beforehand. But there's a problem. So I'll just do a string of small ones. You know what? I'll get rid of these small ones. Okay, I just deleted something. What did I delete? That's what I deleted. Of course, it went for the row. What am I deleting? I love it when it does that. Okay, we will fix that. Not a big deal. I just worked real hard on that. So I'm thinking gyros and batteries back here. Actually, I know I'm going to need all the gyros I can squeeze as well. And this is right where the weight starts tacking on. Now, there's that. I still have rooms here, but I'm thinking about actually making these into locker rooms. Something decorative, but yet very light. It's just a hollow space. You'll see what I'm doing in a moment. except it didn't work quite as I intended. But that's okay. I can still adjust. That one's a single. Okay, so I had the thing there, so I'll put that there. That's what I'll do. Okay, I'm not making sense anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, Windows. Number 6. Do that. Yep, this area here will need one too. Actually, I can one-up that. Let's do that instead. That looks so much nicer. In a previous video that I did, I mentioned that these now let air pass through, so they're just vents. So what I'm doing is setting this up so I don't need to worry about air vents in here, because I've got these. This puts this into this area's air vent system. But I accidentally did take out a block right here. And I can put a block there now. So there we go. I will be putting labels in front of those doors. But that'll come in the detail stage. Right now, I'm just building. And there we go. We got individual rooms. I'm going to seal that off. And I'm sorry, but I've got to do this. Because I like this part. Let's get... Nope, looks like vents go on the bottom. Yep, restricted access, good. And then from there, I'm going to add in a couch so people can comfortably sit and get changed. There's locker 1. Gonna do pretty much the same thing over here. I could have turned on mirror mode. I probably should have. The infamous toilet does not go in here. Though anyone who tends to see what I'd make, you know I'm going to put one in. And can you guess where I'm going to put it in? Got it. Okay. Only sad part is this stall here doesn't actually have a door. It's the only thing it's missing. It should have a door. Because then I wouldn't need to go through all this hazard. Okay, with all that said and done, those are the locker rooms. That's the entire lower area. I have not put in lights. I do that last. But there's the lower area. Lower deck is done. Now I'm going to put a gravity generator in here somewhere, but I'm going to try planning it to be in the as exact middle as I possibly can. So I only need one gravity generator to cover the entire strip as equally as possible. Oh, I actually forgot something down below. Something fairly important. Which I'm going to put right here. That'd be an air vent. We like breathing, don't we? At least I hope people like breathing. Actually, I can make this look a little nicer than that. And shed a little bit of weight. Wrong block pile. I will state, half blocks are your friend. Okay, if I can't mirror that on the other side, I'm not going to do that. So let's just leave that as it is. There's no sense in messing around with it. It works. I was just trying to make this hallway feel a little roomier. But that also means that I can put some decorations here. Who doesn't like little green? Whoop. I hit all the wrong buttons. I actually kind of like this area having that high cap ceiling, so I'm going to leave that alone. Actually kind of gives me an idea. If I have the block set up for it. I should. Right there, number 6. I'm going to take a trick from my Icarus station for anyone who may know of it. 2, 3, 4. So that one should be the middle. Anyone who's not familiar, I put lights on dangles like that, so that that ceiling could be higher, but the light source would be down low enough to still be relevant. Now, I would state, I have an air vent here, but it's not working because I don't have any H2O2 generators. Whoops. So that room will not get pressurized until I do so. But I can sneak that in anywhere. However, I do want to make an oxygen tank that will only take, the oxygen would only leave. How do I want to do that? Because one of my ideas was to bring this down to a planet, fill up on oxygen, and then I can leave said planet and have a tank full of oxygen to give to other ships. But I don't want my H2O2 generators to fill up said oxygen tanks. There's a way to do it with a sorter block. I had not considered that when I made this. Well, let's repair this hole I put in here while I'm thinking. So you guys don't see me just flying around aimlessly, even though that's basically what I'm doing. My brain is percolating ideas. Well, that's there. I can actually break that. No, I can't break that conveyor. Any idea I think of restricts whatever it's connected to right now. But maybe I might determine to put, say, something on the side of my ship with the oxygen tanks with air vents right there. And then I'll have it where oxygen will only leave that tank and not come back in. Because if I set it up here, then the entire hangar system, all these ships would not fill up on oxygen if I needed them to. Because oxygen would only go one direction. Still not necessarily going to hurt the ships out there, but there's better ways to do it. Okay, so let's continue with what my project was at least, and what I know I'm working with, and get some more staircases done. So I've got to go all the way up. So we've got stairs. Let me move this. There we go, number 8. And then I stopped here, so let's get going with that. I will address ramps later, because that's finalization. That's as high as I want to go right now. So ramp. I ramped it up. Oh, bad joke. Okay, so first deck, excluding the hangar system, is actually right here up by 1 block. I do not want that double thick layer there. So I've got to decide what I want to do with this lower area. Or I'm thinking of scrapping the first deck. And then my next deck will be here. And here. And I might not even need anything up here besides maybe just going to my bridge. My bridge might be the only thing that pops up here. My brother keeps telling me I make rat mazes. Welcome to the maze, my little rats. Welcome to the maze. This video is already approaching 50 minutes, but I'm going to turn on mirror mode. I don't want to go too much longer than an hour per video, so that's pretty much where I'm probably going to leave it. If anyone has any questions about what I did and why I didn't, you can always post that in the comments below. I will answer any questions. I'm pretty friendly to new players. But right now, that's my ship. That's the Darklighter. I think it's getting too big for what I was intending to, but if all else fails, it ends up being just a spaceship. A really neat looking spaceship. Well, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. As stated, if you have questions about my building techniques, just go ahead and ask. I'm willing to share. And otherwise, have a nice day, everyone. See you on the next video.